Hello, everybody. We are live. Welcome to episode 20 of the Big Apple Battle, a New York baseball podcast. And Ed, today is a dark, dark day in the Mets fandom. I don't know how I'm wearing this jersey today. And as you guys could see, we're doing video for the first time on potentially the worst episode in the history of the podcast, at
Brave
least
man.
from my perspective, right? And and I'm gonna let you talk tonight at some point.
I don't know how much.
But
I don't blame
I
you.
I just don't know where to start. So before we jumped on, I just started rattling off like one-offs of what went wrong, what could have been done better, and I have like 20 bullet points here of just bullshit because we're the highest payroll in baseball, one of the smartest GMs, nothing to show for it. All of these fucking projects mixed with safe moves, subpar coaching, a lack of clubhouse leadership, in my opinion, which we've discussed in previous pods, is exactly why this flopped, right? The Mets were looking like division champs in late May. And then, boom, the wheels fell off. The age showed, the luck ran out, the players' true colors came to fruition. This will go down as one of the worst collapses in Mets history. It was a slow burn, too. It wasn't like '07, as we know. This shit took months and years off my life. And it's never, it didn't change. It didn't falter. Maybe you got the most I saw falter was what was it, early August, where we swept the Phillies for 3 games at home, and all of a sudden we thought we were going to be back in the fucking division, and we didn't even make the playoffs, dude. The fans don't deserve this in a season where we set the attendance record. Do better, do more. Outside of Lindor, Alonso, and Soto, the team collectively hit, I think it was sub 235, and there was no pulse, there was no urgency. They played scared, they played soft. They wouldn't beat my nephew's 11U team, man, because this is ridiculous. And it starts with, I don't even know where it starts. It was a cohesive shit show, a pile of oh, there's a ring light.
Speaking
This
of
is
shit
me,
show.
baby. Off-season choices, right? Not bringing back Iglesias, as we talked about. That led to the clubhouse issues. That led to all of the lack of leadership, I think, that we saw in the 2024 team, where Iglesias really helped lead that team to the playoffs and help kind of mold that culture there. He's fucking performing after game concerts, man. Like, we didn't have that, right? Signing Montas over Severino, being scared to kind of go for a high-end ace, which we talked about as well, which might come back to bite us, right? We were relying on Sanga, who ended up in fucking AAA to end the season, relying on Manaya, who couldn't go more than 2 innings, relying on Clay Holmes, who actually, to be signed for a 4 or 5, you know what,
Pretty
Clay?
good.
You're fine.
Yeah, I was gonna say of all the guys that could have crashed and burned and probably should have going from reliever to starter, right? Like that could have gone so much worse. That dude, yeah, I would say he's the one you can totally be like, yeah, you're on the okay list.
He's on the okay list. If he could learn to maybe go 5 innings more consistently, maybe six here and there,
What do you
that's
want
fine.
from the reliever who's
No,
pitched like 6, 7 years, right? It's
no,
like, yeah,
exactly.
you don't
You're
want
right.
to break the guy either.
You're right.
I
You're
know he's a
right.
tank, but again, he is horse.
He is horse, and he's going to be fine. I think he's going to be a good 4 or 5 next year. I'm not ready to talk about next year yet. Let's backtrack here. But I'm going to keep going down this list, Ed, and we could dissect it. We could do whatever we want. I'll let you chime in,
I just need to say this really quick.
please.
When that ring light went out on you, it was like the night the lights went out on Broadway. You know, not to bring Billy Joel into this, but it was just so symbolic,
It's
right?
fitting.
There's so many things that have gone on in these last few days that I really want you to get back into this rant, but it's been hard to watch, honestly. I was at the Yankee game yesterday watching us clinch and watching the scoreboard, watching for Toronto to maybe give in and roll over for Tampa and give us the division, but secretly watching you guys more closely. So
Yeah, I'm
I
sure
got
you
to tell
were.
you, I thought I would be happy to watch this. It gave me a yucky feeling a little bit. I felt a little bad, only for the hope that was and for all the things that I felt like I warned you about. I hate to say I told you so, and I don't say I told you so. It just feels like, ew, all that shit did go horrible, like the way it shouldn't have gone. So again, you're going to explain why, and I'm sorry to rub it in, but
No, no,
it's
please keep
weird.
rubbing
It's
it
a little
in.
weird. It's a little weird, man. I don't know. I don't know what else to say. I want to feel better about this, and I can't.
You know
It
what,
was
Ed?
just kind of gross the way they rolled over, man. It was a
It
little,
was.
yeah.
Put salt in the wound, put pepper in the wound. I don't put hot sauce in the wound. I don't care, dude. Put Purell in the wound because we deserve to feel this pain because this team failed us. We called the kids up too late. I'm just going back to my rant and down my list here.
Please, yeah.
That was fucked. Calling the kids up too late when you're struggling to fill your rotation, you're struggling to go deep into games throughout the dog days of summer, as we know, which is a slog during a baseball season and tends to really decide a season, right? That July to late August run always dictates a divisional race, a wild card race. I feel like that's when we tend to see team's true colors come out,
Mm.
right? And the core. It's been here for too
Mm.
long, dude. McNeil, the Nimmos of the world. These guys have been here since 2016 and 2018, respectively. And I get it. Nimmo had a good season, 25
Turning
and
on him, man.
90
Wow.
plus.
One tough go, and you're turning on the core.
Well, no, listen, McNeil, I don't want to see him on this team again. He hasn't been, dude, he was a batting champ, what, 6 years ago?
Yeah.
He's just not the same guy, man. And
It's like
Nimmo,
the
yes, he
LeMahieu decision, like LeMahieu for the Yankees. You had to move on at some point, right? It's a tough move,
exactly.
but you got to do it.
And you know what, with Nimmo, like, yeah, he had a good season, right? His OPS was sub 800, though. So he's not getting on base at a great clip. And you know that's what you want him to do. When you have Alonso, you have Lindor, and you have Soto, you don't need Nimmo to be your power guy. You don't need Nimmo to be your Kyle Schwarber Jr. or whatever the fuck you want to call him, right? And
Well, he's
then
supposed to be your on base and energy guy, and was he not doing that at the right clip? Like, what was going
he
on
wasn't even,
there?
I don't know what was going on. He wasn't giving the energy. He wasn't giving his usual positivity. You know him. He's always coming out to the, I forgot, I don't know the name of his walkout song, but it's very godly, very religious,
Oh
or
God, no,
it's very
something like
like,
that. Jesus, take the wheel.
it's essentially, I mean, it's something like that. And he's always
Fine.
smiling, he's always chipper, and he just seemed down, right? He just seemed like not himself, and it seems like that Jeff McNeil rubbed off on all of them.
Mm,
He's
yeah.
he's a one man show, and like Soto, I'll get into Soto. I mean, he had a great season, obviously, a one man season, but he wasn't as clutch as we would have hoped. I mean, he played awful in that final game of the year. He had to do a double play and a pop up in two big spots left. I think five men on base,
Mm.
and I'm gonna bounce around here because there's so much shit I gotta say. But the kids. And this is where the ADD kicks in, Ed. But the kids that I always backed, and you know I backed these guys since we worked together. I've talked about Beatty, I've talked about Alvarez, I've talked about Vientos, I've talked about Mauricio for years.
Mm.
And now they're in their prime. They're in a time of their career where they should be thriving, right, and doing well. And Mauricio, Acuna, Alvarez, Vientos, they all regressed this year. Outside of Beatty, who actually had a pretty positive year, who unfortunately went on the IL a few games ago.
Yeah, tough timing, huh? Right?
Awful,
Oh,
awful timing because you never know what he could have done in some of these big spots where Mauricio got up and looked like Mauricio is a joke. He's a joke.
oh my God, a joke. Oh, dude, he's had how long to prove himself?
Game
A year
one,
and a half
okay, you're
total?
a baseball guy. Game 162, biggest game of your life, biggest game of the
Of
season.
course. Doesn't
He
mean
didn't
I'm gonna
know. No,
perform.
no, no, no. Listen, he didn't
Oh,
know.
okay.
He didn't know his ball four.
Oh,
The ump
that's
had to
good.
tell him it was ball four. He's at first base before the when the pitcher's throwing his pitch. He didn't have his fucking oven mitt on, ready to go, ready to
Well,
run.
maybe he's so stressed out that he's like, I don't want to fuck this up. So, like, I'm doing what I have to do. I'm too caught up in the moment, man. Maybe that's what it is. Maybe.
I'm done making excuses for these guys. They're old enough to
Feels like the
figure it
young
out.
guys don't deserve the blame for what the old guys didn't come through for. I saw Lindor bang into that double play. You saw Pete think that he had a grand slam on what was a relatively hard hit ball, I guess, that almost went.
116 off the bat. That was pretty. It was the hardest hit of the
That is pretty well
season.
hard hit. Oh, okay, Jesus Christ, I didn't realize that.
But
That's
that's
pretty.
baseball. That's baseball. We get it. It's
That's baseball,
unfortunate.
Susan. It's bad luck. It is bad luck, but it's also who's more to blame, the young guys or the old guys? And is it the fact that the front office, like you said, you're blaming the young guys, you're fed up with them, but the front office isn't replacing them or getting you enough bench talent? You went after bullpen piece after bullpen piece and didn't really go after the infield, guys that could be there to spell the Beatties, the Vientoses, the Mauricios of the world, right? Is Mauricio playing infield or outfield now? I think he's an outfielder.
No, he's an infielder.
Oh,
He's
he's an
a
infielder.
primarily a third base. Plays a little second base.
Right.
But yeah, man. Like I think
Reliance too
it's.
much on that
But to your point, I think it was a mix, right? It was
Right.
your core mixed with the talent that you thought was going to be better. Because like I said, like you look at Lindor, Alonso, and Soto. Outside of them and their seasons they had, the role players or the secondary cast, whatever you want to call them,
Hmm.
everyone, excuse me, everyone else hit sub 230 combined. Like those three guys carried the offense, right? And they weren't even that clutch outside of Alonso and Lindor as of late. Like Soto had a great year, but we had a lot of single Soto home runs or whatever you call them, solo Sotos or what are
Juan Solos, as Mikey was saying. I like that.
Juan
That's a good one.
Solos? Yeah, shout out Mikey. He'll get out. He didn't want to come on tonight.
I don't blame him. Probably a tough one. He called it right. You were a little delirious,
Well,
delusional, but Mikey
I mean,
had it.
not really. They were, oh yeah, well, you know me as a Mets fan. I was hopeful until I wasn't. It's optimistic until you're not. It's hope. It's
Of
it's
course.
it's having a chance until you don't. It's you're not going to quit
Well, now that we're here, here's my quick question. I know
Please.
I admire all of that, and I would do the exact same thing had roles been reversed, and I would not give up until, and I wouldn't have even conceded as much as you might have probably. I would have been like digging in, saying, "Hell no, we won't go. We're sticking around."
Wait,
But
sorry. Before you ask, by the way, I was
yeah,
listening
yeah,
to
yeah.
most of this game on the radio, coming back from my
Oh
men's
God,
league game, dude.
brutal.
When Alonso hit that home run, I thought he hit a grand slam, so I had to drive off the highway.
I actually saw that clip on MLB Trash Talkers, dropping spots for Instagram. And it was like, and Pete Alonso ties the game with a grand slam. And they show the hit. And I'm like, oh God, he did kind of crunch that ball.
Crush it. If he
And
lifts
I
it,
was
it's
like,
gone.
no, but I look and then they're like psych and you like scroll down and it's psych and then you see it line out and you're like, that was pretty good. You got me. But I remember watching again on the out of town scoreboard, seeing the bases loaded. It's like this could happen anytime. Again, Toronto went up 5-1 against Tampa in the first inning. I was like, yeah, it's over. Then it was 5-4 next thing I knew. It still wound up being a blowout. Didn't matter. But
Yeah.
the out of town scoreboard watching is something that I think is unheralded, is underappreciated. It's nice not to even have the phone to look at, just like waiting for that update on the big outfield scoreboard. Big on that, but I can only imagine how you were handling it.
Well, it's scary to do that. And also, like, I mean, it's baseball, right? Like, we know it's never over until it's over. But at the same time, you go down 4-0 against the Fish in Miami. We have seen that horror story way too many times. And yes, you have men on base. You're leaving men on base. Alvarez, awful game. Struck out, I think, 3 times with men on base. Snapped the bat over his leg. I don't care. Like,
Pressure,
like,
man.
like
Pressure,
it's
pressure,
that. But
pressure.
that's what I'm saying. Like these kids, like the pressure gets to them. Like they haven't figured it out, and there's no leadership or whatever. Like I thought Lindor would be guiding them or helping them. Or maybe it's on their DNA. Who
But
knows?
what's the difference from last year to this year? The pressure didn't seem to matter last year, right? Because there was no expectation. I think expectation is ultimately what caused this problem and this collapse. And once it all started going a little haywire, they might have had to have started like again, Stearns might have had to have conceded that, hey, the young guys just aren't good enough right now.
Well,
We
last
got
year
to make that
too.
move, right?
Yeah, and last year too, we didn't need Mauricio. We didn't need a Beatty. We didn't really need an
Right,
Acuna. I mean, he stepped up late September last year, as we know, but Vientos also had an unreal season, and he
right,
was our starting third baseman. McNeil had a better year. Nimmo actually had a down year, but like
right.
Iglesias carried that second base, middle infield load with Lindor, and like you know, I just feel as if last year, while maybe there was more talent on the team this year, they played more like a team last year,
Right.
more cohesive, more cleaned up, more buttoned up. And that gets me to my next point: the defense. This year
Yeah.
it was subpar. There were too many lapses in focus in the field, leadership on the field. Honestly, the manager and the hitting coach, they might as well have been sitting in the stands with us because I feel like Mendoza,
Ooh,
I don't know, man. I love Mendoza and I'm happy they didn't fire him. I think he deserves another shot. But
the big news
I,
of the day. Yeah, glad they
yeah,
stuck with him.
but I don't believe he has control of the clubhouse, at least not right now. I don't.
And how do you fix that? Is it a guy, right? Like the Yankees had this issue going back to 2008 when we missed the playoffs for the first time in how many years, right? We first year without Torrey, you go on to Girardi, so you're getting a whole new leader, right? You
Yeah,
had the core four. You're talking about your older core now, not wanting to lose them. What do you bring in to sort of break that up, that monotony, that stress, that anxiety, and get new voices and new leaders? And what, again, I'm not asking you to look too far forward, but I guess in this offseason, that's the thing you got to address most is who do you bring in? The Yankees went and got CC Sabathia, Nick Swisher, and AJ Burnett. Three characters, right? All characters, bringing something unique and different to everything they do. So I think
that's
that,
that's yeah,
right?
that's
Like
it.
that's something to find for you. And I don't know if there's anyone you're targeting already or if that's even on your mind, but
Not on my mind yet, but I will say this. I mean, come on, give me a few days here.
I
But
don't know. You got to be analytical in everything you do. There is no real fan in you. You must be all computer, baby. Let's go.
you're right. Yeah, no emotion,
Modern
right?
game.
No
Exactly.
emotion. I'm fucking all emotion. But I don't know. Like you look at last year, you have Severino, you have Iglesias, you don't have Soto. And I'm not saying Soto's an issue, but I think you bring in star power like that. I think it takes a lot of the focus away from the team, and you become more reliant on a player to come through in a big moment. And I think
Right.
that a lot of the t and that a lot of that doesn't fall on Soto. It's out of his control, right?
No, yeah, absolutely. And again,
But
it's not your clubhouse right away just because you got there too. So it might be that he just needs 3, 4 years of this is my clubhouse now. But
yeah, well,
what's
you said
right?
yourself. Sorry, like Marte was this you who said that? Oh, or Mikey said it.
Mikey mentioned it, yeah.
Yeah, Marte was the leader of the clubhouse, which baffled me. I mean, it should have always been Lindor or Alonso.
Right. Which gives you
I,
questions, right? Like, is Lindor the guy? And he should be. He
he
seems
should
like he's
be.
got
And
it.
I love Marte, don't get me wrong, but like he's not the leader of that clubhouse. He hasn't been here as long. I mean, he's been here long enough, but he's not here for lengthy stay. He's not your superstar. He's not your best player. He's not playing every day. He's not your leader. He can be a mentor, but he's not your leader.
He's got that Unk
And
status, right? It's Unk, right?
yeah,
So it's
yeah,
like,
that's
all
what
right.
all the kids on the men's league call me Unc. Awful.
Jesus Christ, I'd be Gramps then. Unbelievable.
Oh yeah, you'd be great, Gramps.
Oh, Lord. Yeah. Gotta hide the grays.
Um,
But yeah, man.
but yeah, sorry, just back to a few more points. I know obviously we still got to talk Yankee playoffs because you
No,
are in the
I
playoffs.
want more of a rant. I want to hear, I don't even want the logic. I just want the hate. I want the vitriol. I want to
I'll
hear
give that after
how
I
you're
give some.
spewing.
I'll give you some logic, and I'm just going to spew my some
There you
final
go.
points, and then we could tie it in a bow and
I love
try to bury it deep, deep down.
it.
Um,
Use it all for next year. It'll be drops on the pod for next season.
oh yeah, exactly. When we win the World Series, you could throw this episode back out there, but
You blew it!
not hitting with runners in scoring position too has been such an issue, Ed. I feel like it's dated back for more than a decade for this team, and again, that's part of or due to the fact that a lot of this group hasn't changed over the years in terms of the core, right? These guys who have had good seasons, had good one-off seasons, had good career years for themselves, but cohesively as a team in the clutch, they just can't do it. Maybe there's one-offs, right? Maybe there's a walk-off home run or a miracle moment where you come back from 5 runs down, which we didn't really see this year like we did last year. Um, and to that point, they're the only team in fucking baseball. I don't know if you saw that hasn't didn't come back and win a game after 8 innings.
Like 0 and 80 or something ridiculous.
And
It
they
was
had and
insane.
Ed, they had plenty of games where bases loaded in the ninth with one out, just get the run in, extra innings, bases loaded, one out. Like that's always been the Mets' problem. You have a man on third and less than two outs, and what do? You strike out. It's like in their DNA, and I tie that back to a lot of the hitting coach, the leadership. There's a lot that goes there, right?
An all-around approach, right? That comes from the top down. That's a David Stearns model just the same. If you're not building it the way it needs to be built yet, right? Or if maybe it's just
Yeah,
taking him time to transition the roster to what he wants it to be. But it
yeah,
does come from the top.
it does. And speaking of David Stearns, that's a good segue into my next point. The deadline moves, super subpar. Again, like it's similar. It reminds me similarly to when we brought in Vogelback and Darren Ruff and like that deadline, and like
Hmm.
how we thought like that was going to help maybe aid us in improving that year and making the playoffs and making a run. And if I'm not, as I'm a bad Mets fan right now, but that was 2023, right? That was also the floppy season.
Could be 22.
Well, 22 was a flop in a different way. We won 100 plus games. We lost in the wild card to the Padres.
Oh, no, right, 23 then.
2023, we're supposed to be good, and we sold out Verlander and Scherzer and all those guys at the deadline for the
That's when Ruff came
prospects.
in? Oh, wow.
No, no, sorry, that was 22, and those guys came in thinking they
Yeah.
would help aid us, which it didn't
Well, it's
matter.
almost like doubling down on the approach that like the problems already existed. They're like, because the issue was that you didn't have a starter that can go deeper. So they're like, oh, let's add more bullpen pieces.
Well,
No, the problem is you need more starters still. Like, I'm not arguing don't get good bullpen pieces, but doesn't it seem like you're just doubling down on the philosophy at some point?
no, you're right, and I don't even think it's the bullpen was really that much of an issue. I mean, obviously it was towards the middle to back end of the season, but like getting Cedric Mullins instead of a Harrison Bader who's sitting there for the taking is a bad move, right? Getting a
Especially when
guy,
you know the guy in that clubhouse too. He can play there.
yeah, and he's a pretty good
Yeah.
leader himself, and he knows Pete
Yeah.
Alonso, and they gel well, all that good stuff. But like also the bullpen moves, they look sexy on paper, but like Ryan Helsley is a closer his whole career in a big city in a big division. He's a competitor. He's obviously been in pressure moments, but you come to New York and you're expected to be in a completely different role in a playoff race. It's not easy, and then he starts tipping his pitches, and we know the rest is history there. I kind of still want him back. I think he still has good stuff. We'll cross
Yeah.
that bridge in the offseason, but Gregory Soto, kind of a wild card. He's a good lefty, but we have Brooks Raley. We kind of doubled down there. Shout out, honorable mention. Never forget AJ Minter. That was a huge loss early in the fucking season. I keep forgetting about
Yeah.
that.
You called
That
it.
sucks. That sucks. That was my guy.
That would have been
Um,
huge. Senga, you can't talk enough about that either, right? Like all those guys not being at their best health is obviously an issue that is going to be really hard to overcome.
well, not being at your best health, and when you come back, you're just not the same person.
Well, again, and are you rushing back? How often do we see that, right? I thought that was going to happen more with Alvarez with the hamate bone. That dude just kept coming back from every finger hand injury that possibly could happen and came up with some clutch hit after clutch hit. So I know he had a rough tough, like last game, but again, that guy, if he can stay healthy, there's a lot to like about him.
Yeah, but you know what? It's a mix of the bullpen honestly was bad towards the end of the season because the starting pitching fell off and they couldn't go deep. So I'm trying to tie two and two together here, where it's
Mm.
like before the deadline, we were great. You know, we had Reed Garrett, who was also healthy. He was locked down for a while, and you know, as our pitchers started to get injured, we started to go, you know, not as deep into games. You have Stanek and Brazovon trying to carry the load from the third inning through the sixth inning, right? You have
Mm.
all these guys. You have Dickie Lovelady, shout out my boy, but the
With three
best name
different
in baseball.
with three re-entries to the Mets organization, just to
It's crazy. But
three.
that's what it is. It's a snowball effect, right? When your
Yeah.
starting pitching doesn't go deep, your bullpen gets taxed. You have injured arms. You have to call up prospects who maybe not don't pan out, and then you're bringing guys at the deadline who are question mark. And I love Rodgers, but he wasn't locked down like we expected. He actually he led to that big inning in Miami. He gave up two. I think one was like a squeaker, but he gave up a few hits that led to I think the floodgates opening up there when he was relieving Stanek, who also fucked that ending up a bit. But this team,
A little bit of a band-aid those guys were, it seems like, to a bigger
that's
wound
it.
that needed to be addressed, right?
That's
Yeah.
it. That's what I mean. Being bottom three in baseball since mid-June, you know, with our ERA ballooning to some of the worst in baseball after their hot start, I'm calling it the Canning effect. Um, because after he went down, you know,
The
that was
Gripster, I haven't heard of. That's like 3 seasons ago now, it feels like. Holy hell.
and that was my boy.
What do
I
we
will
hear?
actually, we had a weird relationship, right? I hated the guy. I didn't think it was a good signing,
We
and
have
then
a
he
weird
just,
relationship. Does he know that?
he will, because he's a big fan of the pod. I heard, but Ed,
Oh boy.
I can't even yell and scream like Frank the Tank. I'm not gonna rip my jersey off. I'm not gonna start chewing on random shit like that guy. All I know is
I wish you would. Be a lot more
uh,
entertaining. Do
it
you want
would
viewers,
be.
Alec? Do you care about your product? Should it
Is
just
it?
you should just shave like the final the final record this season in your chest. Worst collapse of all time. You know, you could commemorate it
I'll
in the
do that when I
chest
go to
hair.
Yankee Stadium for my punishment. Well,
Yes.
I guess that never happened,
Oh, we should do that during the playoffs. That would be even better.
dude.
Oh, yeah,
Dude,
and you have to pay for your
yeah,
own ticket.
yeah. I was gonna say you buy my ticket. Sure, sure.
Dude, they're selling them for $100 for standing room for the wild card series. $100 for standing room. A couple
Oh,
years ago, that was
I
like
would go
40
for
bucks.
fun. Are you
Still,
going?
I can get an $80 ticket in the nosebleeds. Why are they selling the $100 standing room ticket?
Because
I'm probably gonna go. Yeah, to one.
dude, you have to go.
I gotta sneak one.
It's Yankees Red Sox playoff game.
Yeah, exactly.
You
I'm
can't
probably gonna
not
sneak
go.
one. Just a little sneaky one. I'll let you know when it
What should I
happens.
do? What should I do with this?
Toss it into the Hudson River or
I could do
whatever
that.
river you're closest to.
I
I
could
guess
literally
you're
just go
near the Hudson.
outside and
Yeah,
I could literally just sling it over there.
yeah, there you
Nice.
go. Leave a little message and say, whatever you do, never root for the Mets. It will kill you slowly
Now, you know what I say about the Mets?
and
I
rob you
said
of all happiness.
so. We were playing our men's league game yesterday, and I swear the second base umpire had dementia. Nicest guy ever, but he was telling me he knew
That's
every
why he's so
president.
nice. Yeah.
He's telling I'm playing first base in game, mind you, live in game. He's telling me he knows Jimmy Carter. He played golf with
Oh, wow.
Michael Jordan and Donald Trump, and he said he knows Joe Biden and his family is so connected. He said he bought Donald Trump a bottle of red wine in 1984, and they drank it together. And then he said,
This wine is the best wine you've ever had. I
I
had
don't
it in
know,
1984.
this guy, dude, he
Made
was
by
saying
George Orwell. You
the
never heard about.
crazy shit. He was talking about the Mets from like the 19 fucking 68 or something. I don't even know what he was telling me about.
The 69
Uh,
Mets, baby, when they won the World Series.
no, but he was talking about 1968.
Oh, specifically 68. Okay, I don't
I
know.
couldn't follow along, dude, because he was just going from that to random shit about Jimmy Carter and all the presidents and George Bush, and he said he was an asshole and all these things, dude.
Wow. I was gonna
First of
say,
all, sorry,
no, go for it.
I just don't.
I need
I'll
to
get
know more
to.
about this
I'll,
character.
I'll make my point, but it's just funny to me that I mean, you know, I'm a gullible guy, and I want to believe him. But if you have these connections, I don't think you're a 70-year-old man just umping a men's league
The only way is if you have
rec
special
game.
needs and everyone had to make a wish for you, and you were just so lucky to be brought on board. No one's picking on any of that. I'm not. I'm just saying, oftentimes that's what you'll see is that it could be true, all verified, but you're
I
going
don't
to
think he
find out
was
there's a
though.
deeper issue. My guess is there's mental health, something a
Just
little
old
schizo
with
about
age,
him.
maybe. Yeah, maybe
Eh,
a little bit. And now I kind of forgot why I brought him up. So that defeats the whole purpose.
Men's league, we were talking about something about
That's what
how
happens, guys.
this has gone. Yeah, well, now we're slipping into senility ourselves, so maybe he's not so crazy. This is just called the
Shit.
mush brain.
What were we talking about?
Oh, this no, the Mets. I was gonna say the '68 Mets. How did that happen? You're right. You took me for a ride
Well,
there.
we talking about me going crazy on the pod.
Yeah. And so we really need that. Then we were gonna etch
Oh,
we
oh,
were gonna come
about
to a Yankee game full outfit playoff games. You were
mm,
closer. You were
it's good.
closer.
It's gone.
Oh, did
It's
you
so
lose it again?
it's
Oh
so
no.
gone. Whatever. That guy was crazy. And the point is, he does not know all the presidents, I don't think. But regardless, if
He
he
might be able
does,
to list them all for you, in which case that is better than most Americans. So
I mean,
I'll
yeah,
give it to him.
I probably can't do that. And I'll be happy to admit that. But regardless,
I give up at Millard Fillmore.
yeah, good friend of mine.
I
Um,
thought that was
oh,
Jeremiah.
I remember Millard Fillmore. Thank you.
Not a crook.
Um,
That's Richard Nixon.
okay. Oh shit.
Millard Fillmore.
No, it has nothing to do with Millard Fillmore. Oh, dude, this is insane.
Did you find it?
No. Oh, I found it. All right, so just stop talking. I found it. All right. So, being a Mets fan,
Oh,
that's what we're talking about.
Millard
How
Fillmore.
it's how we're gonna bury this thing in the Hudson? No, being a Mets fan teaches you.
Next
I
to
don't know.
Millard Fillmore.
No, it teaches you resilience. It teaches you
Yeah.
patience. It teaches you, um, it teaches you a lot of life lessons that I'm clearly eluding me right now, but it does.
Wow.
It does.
This is like explaining that
It hardens you,
this is like
limits it,
explaining
lowers your
that
expectations.
tax cuts are good for society. Yeah, that's the same exact idea.
All right. All
It's
right,
all
enough
working.
enough of
You're
this.
doing a good job
The
convincing me.
I'm done being nice. I'm done trying to persuade people that whatever, like, X, Y, and Z, 1 through 10, this is why they flopped. They just sucked. They flat out sucked. It's one of the worst baseball seasons, Mets seasons I've watched in my time on Earth, in my 31 years, I would
Well,
say easily, because
all
of how
around?
all around, because of how long and how slow of a burn it was from the flop, right? A lot of times you see a collapse in the playoffs. You see a collapse in '07. You see a collapse. I'm trying to think of other seasons where it was like late, but most of the time it is just late in the season, or they're just not in it. I mean, the dark ages of the Mets fandom was what 2008, 2009, actually 2014 were awful times.
Mhm.
2015 you make a World Series run, but outside of that, 2016 you lose in the wild card. Like, there's really not been a season, at least in my time, where I remember I was born in '94, so 2000, you're still making a run to the World Series, and like all these other seasons from at least what I remember, especially at a young age, like nothing compares to this, where you have the highest payroll in baseball. You have arguably one of the best players now in baseball, a ton of talent, one of the better GMs, one of the better owners, the richest owner,
I'm
right?
gonna say I don't know. That's to be seen. Better owner,
Yeah,
but
richest
rich.
owner, right? Richest owner. You
Yeah,
have your attendance records blown out of the water. You're playing great baseball at home. And I will shout out to the SNY crew and just all the effects they do. The best effect team in the game, by
they're
the way.
fun. They're a lot
And
of
they're
fun.
awesome. They're awesome. Nothing to do with the play on the field at all, but I love it. But my
Let's
point
put
is,
You put lipstick on a pig, like I said.
yeah,
The
you're kissing
subway,
that pig.
whatever race they have now, right? The five borough race, all the things that just have nothing to do with the real
That's why,
field
Ed, the Bronx
product.
Giraffe should have won one game, one
Should have
race.
won. Yep, the last day of the season, just for good karma.
Just send him out there on his own. Just race yourself. No, no,
Imagine they
no.
just retire the Bronx draft now. They're like, we can't. This this is too
It's
much.
done. No, they should be done with that, in my opinion. But I'm livid to the fact that you're watching 5 months roughly, right, of baseball, and we
Six
know
months.
us. Sorry, yeah, 6. Yeah,
The last
counting's
month
off.
hasn't counted.
Exactly. It's just been a blur, and like, we're watching most games. We're into it. You know how much we care, and like, it just didn't feel. Something felt off all season. Even when you're 20 games over 500, something felt off.
Hmm.
And
And it,
yeah,
if you were part of that clubhouse, right? You've been in clubhouses. You're playing on the team now. You guys take it seriously too. Your club looks like they're pretty in for it for one for all for one kind of idea.
yeah.
What would you go and say to that team when this is clearly like the spirit of those guys had clearly been sucked out of them at some point? I don't know when it was, but looking at that team, the last game of the season, looking how all of them just were like, they like each other clearly, right? You see Lindor burying his chest in or head in Pete's chest, and it's all going to be okay, guys, and like kumbaya, all that. But what would you say to these guys down the stretch to try and shake this thing awake? And did you? I haven't heard about anything from behind
No,
closed doors ever happening, not a
no,
team meeting, nothing. So,
that's the
what would you
issue.
think you would do, or what do you think someone should have done and said, or how would you shake that shit out of them? You know?
Well, first, you over communicate and you start early, in my opinion. I mean, me, I'm big on communication, over communication, whatever, whether you're on the baseball field or not on the baseball field, right? And like, you grab this group in early June, mid June, when you start to see it fall off, you start to get injuries, you're starting to lose your pitching depth, you're starting to see the young talent not pan out. You grab everyone and you have a players only meeting again. Like you can't have too many meetings, too many regroups if you need to course correct and do a better job. Like you
Right.
have to do that. Like I think you should be able to sit there in a room with Mendoza not in there, no Chavez, nobody else, like Lindor did last year, right?
Hmm.
And that's what was needed. And again, I haven't heard anything about it. Like you should have had a players only meeting. They should have communicated simply, we're playing poor baseball. And you should
Hmm.
have highlighted where and why and how to fix it.
Yep.
And like
No.
instead they just talk to each other casually and they just fucking pump their fist. Let's go. You could do it. That doesn't
Rah
mean
rah.
shit. And I'll tell you why it doesn't mean shit. I'm on the mound Sunday. I had can't even talk about this live on the pod. But I was forced to start again. Again, I haven't pitched in what 15 years, 12 years, whatever the math adds up to. I pitched a little in the summer. It was a flop. I haven't pitched in 2 months. I was forced to start this game. The warm-ups were good. Everything was good, but it was Yip City. Once they say play ball and it's live, I walk everybody, standard situation. I'm going to pull myself, but again, that's my point. Mound visits, right? They come up and when it's in game, it's different. You have to have these meetings and these conversations not live in game.
Right.
And this is kind of my point here is like they're talking to me on the mound. I'm a head case. I'm standing there just pissed at myself, struggling.
Right.
Like whatever they're saying to me, I appreciate it, but I don't hear a fucking word they're saying. And none of
Right.
these young kids probably do, you
Right.
know? So you go and you pull them aside. You have a separate meeting. You take them out to dinner. You do all you can to build their confidence up off the field. So when they're on the field, it shows.
Right. And you need more team camaraderie, whatever that is. Somebody to pull them aside, get them out of their heads. Like you'd hear about it again. Bring up the Yankees a lot because this is a Yankees Mets New York baseball podcast. But you would hear about them
Yeah,
going
sorry,
on
not
like,
tonight, I guess.
I guess not. Well, it's still you got a little bit of post mortem to do, so they're still technically a little alive in the hearts of millions of fans. But it's take them out, go play pool, right? Go get wasted, go do something funny, different, away from baseball, away from the field, and build that team sort of relationship and that dynamic a little bit more. Yeah, it didn't seem like there was anyone breaking anyone of that mental fatigue, right? And on top of that, and I go back to the Soto stuff, and this is the stuff that I was concerned about. And I wonder if the Yankees were a little like, oh, you know what? He signed with the Mets, breath of fresh air. We don't need to worry about this. But when you
Yeah.
have a guy that's getting paid that much, no matter what, he's got to be a clubhouse leader, right? It's just it's thrust upon him because they look to that guy who's like, oh, there he is, Mr. Million, $40 million man, $700 million man. And I think with Juan Soto, I'm not saying he wilts under pressure because he does perform plenty in big baseball moments, but I don't feel like he's the guy that anybody's going to be able to come to, and I don't know if he's going to grow into that. And if it's, I don't care if it's unfair. It's just the truth, right? A-Rod had that when he was with the Yankees, but Jeter was still there, right? There was
Hmm.
somebody that, and Jeter didn't love that he had to take that pressure off him. He didn't, but here we go. And the fundamentals being something that Soto also seems to lack a little bit, right? In terms of the defensive prowess. Saw him steal bases this year. That was really cool to see him add an more athletic part to his game. But some of his lackadaisical play in the outfield, and even if it's not, it just looks a little lackadaisical because he looks a little unsure, not quite hustling or breaking it out of the box, or where he's standing out in the outfield, I should say. I worry about a trickle down effect when it comes to that stuff, right? Gleyber Torres struggled in the infield, had the big, again, game one of the World Series. Soto and Torres had rough go of it. Everything fell apart from there. Not the only thing to blame, but things did not go well from there. Two guys that are not with this team anymore. Again,
Yep.
by choice, by not, whatever, by force. I think the Yankees kind of look at it like, yeah, Juan Soto, we would have loved you if you were willing, but if you're not, maybe that just takes a decision and an awkward one out of our hands where we don't have to bench you one day. I gotta say this. I almost feel like if he were just a DH, he could be a little like a Big Poppy type, have a little bit more fun, a little goofier, not worry about the defensive miscues. Maybe that does you better, and maybe that works.
Man,
But again, but right now it's like, dude does not inspire you at all when he plays the field. That's your big guy. Lindor's not going to be that guy. Can't be that guy monetarily, but can he be that guy in the clubhouse? Pete's just always going to be Pete. I got money, and if he gets paid, he gets paid, and that's great, and he's happy to be there. I don't think
Pete's
anyone's going
not
to
a
be like,
leader. I don't think he's
no,
a
he's a
leader.
leader by I'm your friend, buddy. Let's do have a bear hug, a polar bear hug. Like, and
Yeah,
I love
yeah.
that about Pete. That's great. But that's the issue. Who is the guy? Can anyone be the guy past Soto if he's the money man? I don't know. And who's got the gumption, the backbone, the the
There's no one on the
charisma
team.
to
There's no
do
one
it?
on the team that has that right now. I thought it was Lindor. I don't think it is. And well, let me backtrack. It's not that I don't think it is. I just think it didn't show this season. I think he still is the leader in the clubhouse by, I guess, there being no other better option at this point. But
Right.
like Soto, man, like you're right. I mean, yeah, like he's not, no one's worth that amount of money unless you're also doing it off the field,
Right.
right? And you're helping your other players be better. Instead, he's his over analysis of his own at bats and his own improvements and his own struggles and his own whatever. It's good and great because he improves throughout the game, throughout the season, whatever, as we saw. But like, why doesn't he try to pass that along? I feel like you don't see that, or maybe he does, right? But we don't see it all, on screen. But like, I don't know. When he's playing, he doesn't seem happy. He doesn't seem like he's having fun unless he's hitting. No, never. I don't know. I saw him hit that home run against what's his name against the Guardians, send you guys to the World Series.
Oh yeah.
I forgot his
Damn.
name.
Why can't I think of his name either? I'm thinking Karinchak, and it wasn't him. He was
It was
long
the
ago
it was the
now.
guy with all the long hair. Looks like a
Class
garbage
A.
man.
Class A.
No, it wasn't
No, it
Class
wasn't
A.
Class A. You're right. Who was it?
Oh, Gaddis.
Gaddis. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Hunter Gaddis.
Hunter Gaddis. But yeah, like he was jacked up and he was juiced. And obviously, it's different, it's playoff atmosphere. But he was like that all season with the Yankees. He was just pimping home runs. He was loving the game. Like he played so buttoned up. I feel like he played so like conservative with us. And like again, it's the first year. It's new. I think he'll figure it out. I think we'll be fine. But right now, I'm pissed. The team came out flaccid in the last game of the year to get shut out in Miami. That's a house of horrors. That's nightmare fuel. That's worse than playing in Atlanta the last game of the year, in my opinion. Clearly, look at last year. We played in Atlanta. We made the playoffs. We could have missed it last year too. So
Yeah.
this team is pathetic. This was an awful season. I'm siding with Frank the Tank on this one. I'm siding with Evan Roberts. I'm siding with everyone on the radio who's having their spiels and their one-offs, and that's why I'm not doing it because I've heard it all day. I'm just done. I'm just over it. I'm just sick of it. I'm sick of seeing the same shit every fucking year on the field. 6 months out of a year, I don't know what I'm trying to say. Half a year every year of my life, I
Yeah.
watch this team play like dog shit for the most part.
Which is half your life, right? That becomes half your life. Yeah.
That's so
Half of
depressing when you put it that way.
it's like
But
how many years do we spend in bed, you know? How many years do you spend miserable watching the Mets?
at least you're comfortable in bed.
Yeah, that's true. You're recharging. It's necessary
Yeah, like
for
watching the Mets is stressful and people go bald.
well, you still
Not
got your
me.
hair. You're doing okay.
I'll be all right. I
It
got
can't
to
be
got
stressful enough.
no. But it's 2025. They got plenty of things you could use nowadays to avoid that. But
I think it comes back to, dude, expectation inevitably made this season harder for you. Did it not? It had to have.
I mean, yeah, but also like you were exceeding expectations early on, or you're playing up to expectations. You're 20 games over. You're thinking you're gonna be fighting for the division with the Phillies all year, like
You
all
did not think you
season.
were going to maintain that. You knew exactly what was going on then. It was like you were playing absurdly well from the pitching side. There's no way you were expecting that to hold up and not expect your hitting
Well,
to sometime carry you. Like it didn't
well,
really
yeah.
flip-flop all that much as it needed to, right?
Well, you don't, and that's the point. Like, no, that's a good point you make. Like, you don't have to maintain it, but it could have played 500 ball or
From
even
there, you're right. You're right.
5, 10 games under. Instead, you're playing just as bad as the Rockies, the down the stretch from mid-June to the end of the year.
Yeah, I guess I forget that that's what you had to
And I'll tell
do
you
to screw
this.
this up so badly.
There's so many fucking things that happen. Like all these games, like where you're leading in the seventh and eighth and you blow it. Like that's one thing. But just this final 2 weeks, losing 2 out of 3 against the Nationals and losing 2 out of 3 in Miami. That's what did you in. No matter everything else, no matter what, it could have all been erased if you just fucking did your job, right? Like we talked about. What was the question I posed to you? Was well, I pose to you to pose to me, but would you rather
Well, I'll
uh
say it. Would you rather
okay.
have control? Would you have rather lost that game and the Reds also lose that game, right? Obviously, you'd rather that, but would you? No, you'd rather. Yeah, this is now harder to
Wait,
word.
you want me to say it?
Yeah, you should say it because now
Okay.
I'm screwing it up.
No, basically, a buddy of mine asked, would you rather have had the Mets win, but the Reds also win, so you still miss the playoffs, or this scenario
Right.
where you both lose? And I'd rather have the Mets win and the Reds win every fucking time because that's in your control, right? You winning is in your control. What the Reds do is not. What they did on Sunday and they lost, that was out of our control. They lost.
Yep.
The Brewers helped us out. They did us a favor, and we didn't help ourselves. We
Yeah, and
came
that was the
out
most
flat.
unlikely thing to happen, or like, right? The fact that the Reds even beat the Brewers a game before, and the fact that, again, the Brewers obviously took care of business in the last game. Yeah, you had everything there for you. You still had everything
It
there
was
for
in
you.
front of us,
Yeah.
right there in front of us, dude.
God, so I've been hearing Mendoza use that term too, and I
Oh,
think that
is he?
I don't
God damn
know.
it.
That's a Boone thing, obviously. It's right there in front of us. It's right there in front of us.
Yeah.
If Mendoza's using that, you should fire him. That would be the only situation where I support the firing of Carlos Mendoza. Otherwise, again, I think this is a blip. You can't redo the Showalter situation. You can't every time there's one
Fuck
bad
that.
season, like just give in and say fuck it, it's over, right? Like we need a new leader. Because you do that too many times, no one's ever going to believe that you have any stability. And why would I ever go to that franchise if any given year my job's on the line? It's a delicate balance right now. I just think that, I don't know. I still want to give you a time to talk. I keep interrupting.
No, 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 please, dude. I feel like I've talked for hours already. I've talked this whole pod, man. And like more importantly, like the Yankees are in the playoffs. They have a wild card game tomorrow when everyone's gonna be listening to this pod tomorrow morning.
Oh yeah.
And it's gonna be Yankees Red Sox. It's gonna be great for baseball, great for the playoffs. And the Red Sox, dude, before we dive into that series, because I'm done talking about the Mets, I have a headache just doing that. I gotta take fucking Tylenol or Advil or whatever is safe to take nowadays.
I was gonna say, don't you're not allowed to do that now either. Give you autism. Anyway, go
Well, that's the Mets do that for me already. Too
ahead. Who
far.
needs Tylenol when you got the Mets?
Too far, too far. But I will say something that surprised me when I was looking at just a little into like, the scouting report and the Red Sox season. Trevor Story, what a bounce back. What the fuck?
Dude, so many things about that team have confused the hell out of me, and I feel inadvertently responsible. We took a trip up there in June, and it was happened to be just like a random game we were going to. It looked like it was getting it rained out, and Trish and I, and she had wanted to go. I hadn't been back since I went to school there. Turns out I lived like a 45-minute walk from Fenway Park when I went to my freshman year of college in Boston. Who knew? Back then the world is big and scary, and now I'm like, dude, I could have literally walked to and from Fenway all the time. Pisses me off in hindsight. But
And the world's
uh,
scarier.
yeah, right. And the world's more terrifying. You have to go under like like a little bridge. It's like a little Hobbit bridge you go under to get there too. It's a weird walk. It's not
Do you
necessarily the one you want to do, but we did it. It was fun.
do you pay the toll troll?
I was gonna say you might have to. But he did not get into this boy's hole. All right, that's all you got to
Well,
remember.
thank God.
That's it. But I'll go back to what was happening that day. We weren't
Yep.
expecting it, but Roman Anthony made his MLB debut that day. So we were like inadvertently just at Roman Anthony's like major league debut for like tickets that cost $20, which you never get at Fenway. Anyway, they were in the pits at that point. That's right before the Devers trade happened, and I was like, "Oh yeah, look at that." I hate it. I hated Devers on the Red Sox. I'm happy that he's away. I could kind of like him now. But I'm like, look at that fat, blah, blah, blah. He sucks and because he owns Garrett Cole. Anyway, the Red Sox have been on fire since that time, basically, and I have not forgiven myself for my visit. I had not been back there, by the way, since I left from my transferring freshman year
But
of college.
Roman got hurt, so technically
Oh, maybe.
it
There you
offsets a
go.
well, it doesn't really offset considering. Well, we'll find out if it offsets starting tomorrow.
There you go. We'll find out. And I'm just
Good.
saying, I'm not loving it. I do not want to see these guys. Crochet has been a pain in the ass all year, as we knew he would be, right? Every time the Red Sox seemed to make that trade that the Yankees didn't want to give up that one extra piece to get, they get a guy like this, kind of like the Pedro Martinez of yesteryear and Chris Sale, right? Not that long ago. And they always find a way to just pick up that one pitcher who just like for 5 years gives them everything and is again, thorn in our side and
Yeah,
winds
but
up
you're matching
leading.
up well with
For
him
what,
though.
of course, I'm not saying that I think he's worse, right? I actually love the idea that Aaron Judge gets to recreate that, spit on that ball that was close to the strike zone, and then take him deep on the next one, right? And what could have been a complete game shutout for Crochet at Fenway. Judge spits on that, takes him deep. Like I love seeing that opportunity again. I love the opportunity to see Stanton, right? October Stanton against Crochet would be better at Fenway, low key, but um
Yeah.
and right. So, but again, we got two lefties on the mound, helps us out in Freed and Rodon taking games one and two. Obviously, two of the best American League starters in the game behind Crochet, which ironically, you got Bayo coming in game two for the Red Sox. So I guess all I'm saying is they're scrappy. They're a pain in the ass. Trevor Story, yeah, coming out of nowhere, having a great year. Obviously, defensively is always really good for them as well. They need to tighten that up, and they have. Jaron Duran can offer them some speed on the base paths. Who's a pain in everything, right?
He's
So
so good.
he's so good. And again, it's that type of player that doesn't always match up well with the Yankees. So I worry about that when we're not going to be doing the same thing. I think we have more of that now with Caballero and other, Ahmed Rosario's of the world, right? Who's got a killer line against Crochet, dude. He's 6 for 9 against him in his
That's so
career,
random, I feel like.
right? But it's got to be like shorten it up and like just give me a little dunk hit. Like I like Ahmed's approach at the plate for all that.
But
And then, yeah.
I was gonna say, you know what a surprise honorable mention is? Who's
Hmm.
now in the playoffs out of nowhere is Nathaniel Lowe, who's on the Red Sox.
Dude,
They scooped him up. I forgot about that.
I like looked up one day and I hear, oh, and Lowe, flies out. And I was like, Lowe, when did they get Lowe? Which Lowe? Brandon? Like, and it's not Lau, so it's Lowe. I'm like, wait, Nathaniel Lowe, how did they get him from Washington? He
And
should
that's
be
not a
way
bad
out of here.
scoop at
That's a
all.
great pickup. Losing Casas, and then you get a lefty swinging first baseman. And I don't know how they're available to them, dude. Like that's what
Makes
the
no sense.
Yankees would have needed, and I don't know why. I also think the Yankees sometimes just don't take chances on certain characters like that, like big boomer bust potential sometimes, like until they're at the very end, if that makes sense.
It
Like
does.
a Chris Carter type, right? Like they'll go after that guy when it's clear that guy's not got a lot left to offer. But Goldschmidt, because he's so tried and true, and I like Goldschmidt, but again, now he's leading off for us in this game one because he kills lefties. So we got our lefty killing lineup going for
Yeah,
us,
what
which
would
takes,
your lineup? Let's hear the lineup. What
well,
do you think the lineup's gonna be?
I'm guessing, and this is just seeing other things going out there, right? So you got to expect Goldschmidt leading off. And I think before I even get into the lineup, the big thing that you're going to miss in this first game, which sucks and again kind of goes in the face of old baseball thought, right? Riding the hot hand. But Ben Rice hit 2 home runs yesterday, right? In the first inning and then in the eighth to give us the win. So Ben Rice heating up against his childhood, not his childhood team. He grew up in Massachusetts, a big Yankee fan. So this is, all over Ben Rice's, dream scenario, and he will
Yes,
not be
cool. That's
starting this
awesome.
game, right? And he
Nah.
hit 3 home runs against them last year, which again, not going to be in the game one lineup, but good bench piece. Again, the bullpen is probably the weakest link for the Red Sox, and it's not even really that weak right
And
now.
he'll start game two, I assume.
Yeah, he'll start game two. So you got Bayo
Right?
on the mound there, and it depends on how Wells is looking. But yeah, I would guess that they would give Rice first base at minimum if you're
Yeah.
not going to catch him, right? But yeah, so if we're looking at game one lineup, I'm thinking Goldschmidt one. You're looking at Judge two, Belly three, four. That's where it gets tough because do you even start Jazz, right? Like you could feasibly not start Jazz, and I kind of like the idea of not starting Jazz if he struggles that much against Crochet. That's where you could go like the Ahmed Rosario, or you could go, Caballero instead, right?
I feel you
Give
gotta
you a
start
second leadoff hitter.
Jazz.
I feel like you're probably right, but he can't be your cleanup hitter, so you got to go Stanton cleanup. Jazz maybe five, I guess. Six. This is where you get a little hairy because again, who are you going to go in for who? McMahon is not your lefty, right? You could go McMahon to start, but I think that's where you go Rosario. So Rosario six. And this is where it like almost sounds like a thinner lineup than it needs to be because you're not even going with Grisham, right? You're
Yeah,
probably
you have a
going
lot of lefties on your team there.
right. And in our couple years ago, we were desperate for lefties. Now it's like we can't get a righty back into the lineup. So
Yeah.
I'm actually getting ahead of myself and trying to figure out who's going to be batting where in the lineup and who they're going to place where because I don't want to lose Grisham from center field either. Like I'd almost rather just keep him in the lineup just for tracking down any balls that come out there.
Well, who would play
Makes him
center
feel
if
better. Well, you would have to go to Bellinger and then put in like Dominguez, who's a switch hitter, or you put Rosario in left field and you keep Caballero in somewhere on the infield, like
dude,
maybe
your
third
your team is
base.
so deep, dude. I keep forgetting how many fucking guys you added.
But
That
did
team
you
is
see?
deep.
You see what see that's where the Yankee deadline was sneaky good. It was so sneaky good. I was like, whatever, but like everything they didn't have, they were like, "Oh, we're getting just the opposite. We're just getting that thing we don't have right now. We don't steal bases, Caballero. Like we got the stolen base leader. We don't have right-handed bench infield or outfield. Oh, Ahmed Rosario. He's cheap. We'll just give up Clayton Beater for him, the guy that we got back from the Joey Gallo deal. Thanks, Joey Gallo. We got Ahmed Rosario. Um, it's just fun the trade trees that happen out of all this,
Oh
right?
yeah, and now he's pitching, so
And now he's pitching. Yeah, who knows how that goes? I actually would love to see that full right can keel
that'd be
redux.
sick.
But the rest of the lineup, you'd go, yeah. So that's where I'm getting a little all over the place. I'm sure there's some other options out there. Really, what I wanted to see was go Caballero and not Volpe. I don't really want to start with Volpe. I don't. I want Volpe to come in off the bench too.
What
But
about both of them?
if
You
you
might
need more
need.
right-handers, so I think that's what's going to wind up happening. So I think you get Caballero at second, or probably third, I should say, or Rosario at third, and then you'd go Dominguez. That's again where I'm confused. And do you go Caballero at second instead of Jazz? Again, this is
Oh,
where Aaron Boone's going to
you're not
earn it.
sleeping tonight. Now you're not sleeping tonight.
Yeah,
Now you're
now
gonna
I
be
can't.
fucking. It's gonna be like that meme from It's Always Sunny where Charlie is just like on the board. Where he's like, yeah.
Right? Bird theory, bird law, or whatever.
Oh
And
yeah,
it
yeah,
it's for the birds.
the birds.
Speaking of the birds, we took the birds out, and that was a nice little sweep to finish the season. And so again, you got to feel good about where the Yankees are going. Don't love to see the Red Sox in a shortened series. I think that baseball deserves better, and I want to go into really the reseeding of these things. I love division, like the divisional element. I think that's important, and we
Agreed.
should focus on beating our divisional opponents. But there is something crappy. I don't care that we didn't win the division. You know what I mean? I don't care. I do care that we're the 4 seed with the best record in base, in the American League. We should not be below Seattle. We shouldn't be below whatever. I don't care if we play a first round series. I think everybody should play a first round series, but like seeded in a way that's a little different in that way. I get you want to like. I'm not saying give us a bye. I'm just saying find a different way where we don't have to match up with the 5 seed. We should just be matching up with I don't know who would it be the. I guess it would be the 5 seed either way if we were number
Yeah,
two, right?
I
Yeah,
think
so no
so.
matter what, it would kind of work out that way. So I don't even know what I'm bitching about.
But baseball's, I don't know, like the expanded playoff is cool, obviously, which is
Yeah.
that's also a gripe of mine. That's gonna get in the playoffs with the fucking expanded playoffs.
Hmm.
Whatever. Don't talk about them. But the point I'm trying to make is like it is nice and it's great for baseball being able to play your divisional rival or opponent in the first round, right? Like the Mets would not have played the Phillies in the DS, right?
Right.
Or in the wild card. Like you're playing those teams if you make it to the NLCS.
Right. Which I
So
think is much better at like more emphasis on the rivalry, right?
yes, but you have to get there first. And I feel like
So
sometimes
it
like,
guarantees more rivalry, you're saying, is
but
the benefit.
I guess a double-edged sword. I guess a double-edged sword because like you could have what you have now, right? It's the Yankees, Red Sox, but you're playing on a fucking Tuesday at 6
Right.
versus
Right.
it's
Right.
double-edged sword. Yeah.
Right. Like that's not unlike the um divisional series would start on Saturday. So it's like, yeah, you got like more prime time games, like, you know what I mean? For my schedule this week, it works fine. I'm happy with that. But it it doesn't
I'm
mean
glad it works for you, Ed.
it works for me. So I put a call into the higher ups at Major League Baseball. But it doesn't change the fact that like I feel like we're being robbed of something bigger. Like again, Cleveland. I do like this. We haven't played anybody in our division really, except for the Red Sox in the playoffs for since 2012. So like the last time we beat a divisional opponent in the playoffs was 2012, and that was the Orioles. Right?
Damn.
That's going back a long time. We haven't beaten the Red Sox in the playoffs since 2003. That's crazy in my like we lost to them in 21 in the wild card series. Garrett Cole, there was the wild card game back then.
Oh
Um,
yeah. I remember that.
we lost 2018. I went to that game. I snuck myself down. It was the deciding game in the division series, and I was like, "Oh,
Fever
we're gonna
pitch,
watch the
baby.
comeback, man." It was terrible. Gleyber Torres grounds out. I watched that all. And so I'm just feeling like maybe this is that season where we're being forced to play those teams now that like we've only played AL Central opponents in recent years. Maybe we have to overcome those hurdles that we haven't been overcoming in recent years to give ourselves the, sort of that push
And,
and that sort of oomph that says, yeah, fuck yeah, we're here. This is ours. We're taking it.
and you know what? To that point, actually, I like that kind of perspective because that might help you guys when you get further down the line and you're playing teams in the NL. Because as we know, the NL is pretty much a powerhouse this year. I mean, it's strong.
It's
And
insane.
if you guys end up playing the Phillies or you play the Dodgers or you play the Padres or it doesn't really matter. You play the Brewers, they're all good fucking teams.
Yep.
Like at last, in years past, you're going through the Twins, you're going through the Tigers, you're going through the Guardians, whoever it may be. Like these teams are not as stacked up when you compare them to, the Phillies or the Dodgers.
But I think that almost plays better. That plays better for those teams. Like I'm fearful of teams like the Guardians and the Tigers, or maybe not the Tigers so much. I think the Tigers are almost too well known now. Their commodities are, we get them. We understand who they are. The Guardians are a lot of no-name dudes who just come in and like faceless job. Like we do everything and we do it well and we're fundamental. And that scares me more because I don't know how the Yankees match up against those types. The Phillies, I feel confident against the Phillies. I know how our team would go about striking out Kyle Schwarber. He might get us once or twice, but the Yankees mitigate home runs. They're good at that. They're not good at mitigating little cuts, little single, little dunk,
Yeah.
little
What?
thing,
That's old school
and
baseball.
it falls apart. I
Yeah.
know, but
That's
we're
good
not good at
ball.
mitigating old school baseball. That's where the pendulum is shifting back, right? We are going back to old school baseball. That's how these teams are competing. It's the only
I
way,
know. I think
right?
I'm rooting for the Guardians because I have no other choice.
That would be me. I would be like, I'm rooting. Well, I would be rooting for the Brewers no matter what. Like if Yankees weren't in this, it would be Brewers all the way. Or
Yeah.
if I
It's
had to
always your
pick an
pick.
American League team, I'll pick the Mariners just because they've never won, and my
Uh,
dad had some affiliation with them back in the day. But yeah, yeah.
that's cool. Yeah, I was gonna say the Mariners too, or just because they haven't won, I also love their pitching staff
You love
and
the vibes. Like it's all.
just good
There's nothing
vibes.
but good vibes
Julio,
out
the
there.
big dumper, all that good
Yeah.
stuff.
And I do like the big dumper. Now I can say it. I'm glad, dude. That's the thing I was holding my breath most about is so dumb. So dumb. It's like, he better not get 62. I went to so many games with Sal, right, from work. And we
Yeah,
would
yeah.
go to like the last 5 games in a row. It was like, you want to go again? Yeah, let's just go. So trying to see that 60-second home run. And of course they did it in Texas, but we thought we saw it. He came this close. We were up in like the left field deck, upper deck, looking down, and he was this, I'm not kidding, 2 feet from center field, 408 feet from doing it right in front of us, and we would have had a perfect aerial view of it, and yeah, we
Damn.
missed it.
Not meant to be.
For if he did that and took away from my historic season where I got to see cool stuff, I would have been pretty tight. But still an incredible season for him. He better not be MVP, otherwise I lose all faith in any of that, and I will go into that another day if we have
I
to.
Yeah, we'll definitely do it at another
Yeah.
time. We'll when they announce that and when the season's wrapped. But I do agree, just real quick on that. Like, I don't think someone that's 245 should be MVP, no matter what else you do. I mean,
No.
yes, you're a catcher. We'll get into that. There's a lot of things,
If
but
you want to go into OPS, you want like you don't like batting average, fine. But OPS still 200 points higher for one guy, right? So
I mean,
like
yeah,
you pick that. You pick that.
1100 plus OPS, mind you. Like,
Yeah,
come on.
like, don't make a mockery of the sport just because it was sexy to see home runs again. Like, don't do that because then you're
And
gonna get the whole steroid issue again. Like, you're opening up a whole Pandora's box.
oh yeah, and I know a lot of this episode was me bitching about the Mets, all going all over the place, ranting, whatever you want to call it. But
You did a
like,
great job. You maintained
I
composure.
think as
I'm
angry as you
impressed.
want to, I know the fans, my friends are gonna be disappointed. They wanted to see me rip my shirt off and run around the fucking complex butt naked, but I'm just not. I have too much self-respect to do that. I'm sorry, guys.
I was hoping for one tier, just one no Sean Moreno tier to come down. Like at least,
No Sean Moreno, what a
right?
throwback.
We're bringing out all the oldies and goodies today.
Well, I shed all my tears already. Now they're just dried up, and it's like a desert over here. Now it's just no, you know what it is? It's like when
Dry,
you're so
crusty sucks.
well. We know what that means.
Probably more of that to relieve the pain too, right? You have to
No,
take care sometime.
no. That's not what it is. This is what it is. That sometimes when you're so baffled and perplexed by something, you just don't even know how it makes you feel yet until you take a step back. So as the season progresses, especially when the playoffs start, I think then I'll realize like, fuck, why are the Reds
Hmm.
in this spot? They're gonna get swept by the Dodgers. I hope they kick their ass. Well, actually, no, I don't know what I hope. I hope the Dodgers kick their ass. I don't know.
Well, I was gonna so finish what you want to say, but then I want to
No, I don't
finish
know
with
what I
like
want to say
what.
now. I just
So now I
baffled
want to know
myself.
who do you think like what do you think the best like what do you think the bracket looks like for the National League side? Now that the Mets aren't in it, you can be honest in saying who do you think actually moves on from each of those sides, and like who do you think you would have had a better chance against? Don't worry about the last part. How do you think that
Yeah,
bracket
fuck that.
shapes up? Yeah,
If we
exactly.
can't beat the Marlins, we're not beating any of those
No
teams.
shoulda, coulda, wouldas here. Yeah, I
Yeah,
live
yeah.
in reality.
I mean, I think
But
the Dodgers, I think they're going to sweep the Reds, to be honest with you.
sweep.
Especially with Ohtani, well, it's just a 3-game series, but with
Yeah.
Ohtani pitching again and pitching well,
I hope it goes three and Otani has to pitch in the first series. That's what I hope.
yeah, I mean yeah, that'd be kind of cool.
Yeah.
But I think Dodgers take the Reds, and I'm trying to think like
Cubs Padres.
that's a tough series, man. That's a good matchup. That's gonna be one of the funner series to watch. Like they match up pretty well, both pretty high powered offense, great bullpens, both teams. Um, I'm giving the Cubs the edge. Kyle Tucker's back.
That's true. I still
That's
don't think he's
huge.
quite right, but he does come in
But
pretty
he
clutch.
adds, and that dude,
Yeah.
that lineup, Pico Armstrong, dude, he's batting ninth. The guy had, I mean, yeah, he's been
Yeah, it's crazy.
ice cold towards the back end, but he's still a great ball player. I mean, come on.
Yeah.
And
No.
that rookie they brought up not too long ago, Ballesteros or whatever his
Oh
name
my
was.
God, I know. I don't even know where he came from. This is where I feel like there's just like a 2 week period where I didn't pay close enough attention, and then everything
Same.
happened. I was like, oh, well, this is a whole new league.
Same. But also,
Best thing
just
about
just
baseball.
side note, just
Yep.
another example of us playing down to our opponents. We take that series against the Cubs, massive series, right? And then we just play down to the Marlins and Nationals. So whatever.
Mm.
Par for the course, standard situation. We always play down. And that's coaching, I think. That comes down to leadership. Whatever. Comes down to
Yeah.
focus, mentality. Fucking idiots. Okay.
Yes. Well, I'm just looking for the keyword I can say to keep you going. I'll just
Besides the
like
point.
slowly back out of the scene, get out of here.
Uh,
Oh man,
but
dude.
but yeah, I could see the Cubs advancing. I think Cubs and Brewers would it be then be? Would that how the bracket would shake up?
Yep.
And then
Cubs
Phillies
Brewers.
Dodgers. Those are both awesome series. I think it would be fuck the Phillies. So I guess I'd root for the Dodgers to advance. I would root for the Cubs to advance because I have no gripe with the Cubs. The Mets always own the Cubs in the playoffs. I say always it was just 2015.
You beat the
That's all.
Brewers. Why are you hating on the Brewers? You got Stearns from them. You should be happy. You should say thank
They
you. You guys
no
deserve a chance. No,
they,
no.
they didn't help enough. They should have taken 2 out of 3.
No, you just want to rub it in. You're like, if we're better than them, at least we're better than somebody. That's your whole, that's it. You're like, we keep them down. If they lose again, we're still the better team. That's your mentality. I know what you're thinking.
That's right. It's fair.
You can't kid a kidder, right?
No, I just don't want to see the Phillies. That's definitely a no go in my book. The
Yeah.
Phillies going. I'm down to see a Cubs Guardian World Series. Let's line it up that way. Let's just have some fun with that.
We're going back. We're running back 2016, baby. Let's do it. That was
Oh
a
yeah, that was Cubs.
great World Series. I don't think you could top that. And then Chapman, no, Chapman's on the Red
Wait,
Sox
wait, was
now.
that
That was
Raj?
fun.
Was that Raji Davis? Is that the home run?
Yep, Rajai Davis. Yeah. Oh man, and I loved Rajai Davis,
That
but
was
I was
awesome.
so pissed because I really wanted the Cubs to win that one. It felt like time, had to happen.
But then they won a
Um,
few years later. So
yeah, no, that's true. That's true. But
wait, did they? Yeah,
no,
they
the
did.
Guardians have not won still. No, Guardians haven't won since '48.
No, no, but the Cubs.
Oh no, yeah, the Cubs won in 2016. They
No,
won that one. Yeah.
no, sorry. Yeah, they won 2016. I don't know why
Yeah.
I.
I was like, they won again?
No, no,
Um, dude, speaking of, Anthony Rizzo's retired now. That's all weird. Like, it's just so weird to see how
they're
that
getting
whole
old.
thing. Well, you're talking about it, right? Like, Chris Bryant was the rookie of the year in 2015. Like, I was just out in Chicago and saw Kyle Tucker hit a home run, by the way, and almost won myself a bet that I made at the sports book at Wrigley Field, which is disgusting in its own right, too. However, I digress. What was I talking about? So they had this mural of Chris Bryant, and I was like, "Oh, like we miss you, we love you, Chris Bryant." And I'm just like, "Dude, how weird is it?" And then a week later, Rizzo announced his retirement, and they did a whole thing at Wrigley. I was just like, "How weird is it that these guys are like either gone out of the league, all fell apart, and it felt like
Dude.
within 5 years, it just happened so
Ben
fast, right?"
Zobrist. Think about some of those other guys,
Yeah.
bro.
Well, you just got to appreciate while they're here, right? And like Chris
Dexter
Bryant, seeing what
Fowler.
happened to him. Oh my God, I know, dude. Addison Russell, who like is apparently an abusive dickhead.
Is he? Oh, fuck
Yeah,
that guy
I
then. But
know. He
Addison
just disappeared
Russell,
one day. Everybody's like, he's going to be the shortstop of the future, and he's like, yep, bye,
he
dickhead.
wasn't even that good. I mean, for a minute,
No, no,
like
no, no.
literally a minute. But then, dude, you look at that
Schwarber.
team, Schwarber, but
Yeah,
also another team where that kind of like that was the Royals after they won in 2015.
yeah,
Hosmer,
you're right.
Moustakas,
Low Kane.
Locane, rest in peace.
Yeah, Giordano Ventura.
Jordan, yeah,
Yeah.
Jordan. But dude, a lot of those guys, man. And I'm trying to think.
Alcides
They're
Escobar. I saw him playing in
yes.
Mexico last year.
Oh,
Like
that's
it's just
sick.
across the field from Cano. I was like, what is going on here?
Oh, well,
Yeah.
Sally's still playing over there. We know that, which is crazy.
Yeah, dude, that is
Is he gonna
nuts.
retire or is he coming back?
I don't know.
He didn't announce anything, so
I haven't heard. Yeah, I don't know. It's a good
I'll take
question.
I'll take him over our catching
I hope he
situation.
keeps playing. Yeah, Salvi's for life, baby. I love that guy.
Yeah, he's not gonna go anywhere, but I'll take him for 1 year right now.
No, for sure. Yeah, you'd sign up for any of that. Meanwhile, dude, the Orioles have this like right-handed version or left-handed hitting version of Salvi. His name's Samuel Basayo. He's
Oh
scary
yeah.
looking.
Wait, but Dave Rushman.
Dude, I don't know, man. I think Richmond might be on the outs. There's something about that organization that feels like they got to change it up because too many of the same types of characters in that clubhouse. You got to switch it up and have some kind of different dynamic because that's the only
They got
thing
a lot
getting
of
in the
young
way.
white guys.
They're carbon copies of each other, dude.
They do. They do.
And they got a guy named Mayo, which is just like this is just ridiculous.
Oh, it's Kobe Mayo or
Yeah, and
Kobe
Connor
Mayo.
Norby was the guy. Norby they traded to the
Oh,
Marlins. They
fuck
got a couple
Norby,
of
dude.
yeah,
Yeah, he had a
and
big hit.
Stowers and Kyle Stowers down there. Like they gave up the wrong guys, I think.
They did. I think they did. And the Marlins, dude. The Marlins are going to be pesky for years to come, and the Nationals are going to come back soon because they have a good pitching staff and good young talent. So, like, again, full circle here. We got to do something different.
Yeah.
And it's going to be a big offseason, and I can't even think about it yet. I'm going to watch playoff baseball. I'm going to get into my Rams. I'm just sick of it. I'm just done. Again, I have nothing else to say. I don't want to say anything else.
Yeah. Yeah. I'm not going to keep you to it. I kind of don't want to gloat. Here's the hard thing about talking Yankees right now is like I don't want to get overexcited about anything. I'm not going to overpromise anything. I'm just going to say this. I do and I don't feel bad. A little bit of I told you so. Feels kind of good for, the ego, but it doesn't feel good to see my friend in pain.
I
Uh,
appreciate that. Thank
of
you.
course,
I'm still rooting
anytime.
for the Red Sox though, so
I was going to say, unless it's in person, and in which case I will give you everything. But yeah, if the Red Sox win, then I will have no guilt whatsoever. And we are coming back right after that, so I can do my postmortem. But I'm going to say
yes.
this right now, that's not happening. We're going to do some more time, and we'll maybe touch base somewhere in between, and we'll talk something about the future of the pod.
Yeah, well, the pod definitely has a bright future. I know we kind of slacked off toward it, in the summer there's a lot of, life stuff going on, a lot of moving pieces for both of us, whatever. Um, but honestly, this is a season I want to forget, so maybe it worked out. Like,
Well,
well,
that
we'll see what
is.
you guys do. We'll see what you guys do. It's a New York baseball pod, so
I'm
obviously
thinking I'm thinking good things. I got this hat last year in June at Yankee Stadium while we still had Soto, and we have not lost technically anything that bad. I mean, Game 5 of the World Series was as bad as it's gotten, but
don't
I'm
jinx
feeling
it.
like it's a good luck
Don't
hat.
jinx it.
Hoping that that stays the same. Gonna get to a game this week, so we'll touch base a little bit about that experience as well, because you never know how Yankee playoffs vibes are gonna look in
Yeah, go
what
live
Pat's
out
gonna do.
there. Throw a little live. I should
We
meet you
should
there
do that,
Wednesday night in Mets gear. I'll get my ass kicked.
dude. That'd be sweet.
Not a playoff game. Not a playoff game.
You could ask everybody questions like, what would you say to the Mets fans 2 days after they lost the most epic collapse in baseball history? I don't know. So
No,
anyway,
nothing. Yeah.
um,
I would say nothing.
kick this man in the gonads. Everyone gets one.
I would need security with me.
Yeah, you would absolutely. So I guess I want to wrap it up with, you know, Yanks
Yeah, if you,
playoffs looking good, feeling good. Gonna hope for the best. I think there's things to look out for. Pitching's got to do what it's got to do. Can't strike out too much, and we got to put runners on and move them on. We can't live and die by the home run. If we do that, we will lose. If we do not, and we play the dynamic game that we have so hired these new weapons for, I think we do a lot of damage and we scare a lot of people because, I mean, since August 11th, like I said, MVP Judge, we have been the best team in baseball. 8 wins in a row to finish the season. Cannot cry about that. Gotta love the way the team's clicking, and I don't think the American League has a lot to scare you with, but they are pesky. And if we beat the Red Sox and Blue Jays, I think we win it all because I think that's our hardest challenge.
well, I like that. And honestly, it's gonna be an exciting playoffs this year, considering how the season ended, considering, the races we had. There's not one team that I feel like really ran away with things. Every team has slumped this year, and
Mm.
I'm excited to watch it regardless of how our season ended. I'm still ashamed to wear the orange and blue.
But he's still wearing it anyway. Look what he
Oh,
does for you
because
fans.
yeah, because Ed, you know me well. I'm down and out for a day or two, but I'm optimistic. I'm always coming back. We're always punching, man. You hit me in the chin, you hit me in the jaw. I'm getting up. We're not done. 2026, baby. Here we go. LGM. It's not over. Why would I quit now? I'm 31. I've been watching this fucking team for too long to quit.
Couple things of Ben and Jerry's will do the body right. You'll be feeling better and up and at 'em in no time.
We're on a
All right.
cut, Ed. Only yogurt, baby.
Oh God, no wonder you're so depressed. Makes a lot of sense.
Oh yeah. No late night eating. Only yogurt. Fucking. And then now the Mets don't make the playoffs. God damn it.
Well, all I gotta say is I know the Mets aren't in it, but we're gonna have to do some smack talk, especially if the Phillies are around for at least portions of the playoffs. You gotta let me get my words out. You gotta let me have my rants if I need them. But you're just
No,
gonna
we
have to be
should.
a good teammate on this one, all right?
Hey, we're co-hosts, right? I definitely want to record some episodes. I'm definitely down to get back on. I have nothing to lose now, so when I get on, I'll feel a little better once I heal through this pain.
Hell yeah.
Um,
I think you just go full Randy Quaid and like start like heckling the hell out of the rest of the teams left in the National League. You're just saying nothing but belligerent, nonsensical things. Like that's
Oh,
perfect.
I'll be a reporter from here on out. Here we go.
Whoa, it's
Hey,
Superman.
oh.
Holy shit, Clark Kent just got here. What happened?
Oh no, just kidding.
Oh, it's Superman. He's back. It's a bird. It's
Oh,
a plane. It's a sad Mets
it's
fan.
a horrible Mets season, but okay. Regardless, I'm excited to play out baseball. At the core, we're baseball fans, but deep at the core, we're New York baseball fans. So yes, I'll be
Hell
miserable,
yeah.
miserable for a few days. I'm rooting for, well, I'm not rooting for you, but I hope you're happy watching. I don't know what to say at the
It's
end.
awkward. This is
I
the
love you,
awkward part.
man. This is so awkward, man. This is very awkward.
I love you too, bud. It's all right.
All right.
You're gonna make it through. We'll be
Trevor
here for you.
Story, go do your thing, baby.
I'll be there for you when the rain starts to pour. Right? Friends. Yeah,
I need to
exactly.
get a background. Oh yeah, wait, that's Friends. I don't know why I thought you were
I mean,
singing from
you can do a
wait.
lighter too. That's fine. Yeah. I mean, I'll keep singing. I got a guitar somewhere.
Dude, you start playing the guitar. I'm gonna have to take out a triangle or something. Get something
Oh,
going.
yeah, I got a tambourine too. We can get it going. The sad band, sad times band. That's great.
The sad Mets band.
Yeah. It's
Um,
like the Dodgers symphony, you know? It's a good comparison.
and you know what this did for us, by the way? I'm gonna look at the silver linings as always. This allowed us to go live with video.
It's true. You got to see our beautiful faces. Look at these pearly whites.
Look at these whites. It looks
I
like
know.
it looks like I'm in an insane asylum at my apartment. I didn't put anything up in this area, in this nook. Don't get me wrong, this is not the whole place, but this little nook, yeah.
It's the only place it's safe for Mets fans right now in a padded room.
Essentially. But don't worry, we're gonna have a nice little background setup. We're gonna have the World Series 2026 batter hanging up here in 2027. Yeah, I'm looking way too ahead. Now that's depressing.
He's already got the
I don't
tattoo.
want
He's gonna
to.
have to scratch it out every year.
I don't look that far ahead. You look too far ahead, you get anxiety, Ed. You gotta stay present, baby. And right now, season's over. Playoff baseball around the corner. Wishing the best for you. I think that's a wrap of episode 20 of the BAB, the Big Apple Battle. You could like, rate, subscribe, review, call us, snail mail, goose, geese mail, whatever you want to call.
Big
I
Apple Battle
hate,
at Gmail, I think. I think.
I hate geese, by the way. I
Well, it's
just,
loose goose. It's the
I go,
Padres goose team, dude. They're gonna go crazy now. They're the
oh,
Padres
that,
geese goose. Yeah.
I hate that thing. But I go for a run, I step on geese shit at least 50% of the
Oh
time. It's awful,
God.
awful.
You'll slip. You'll slip right on that. It's
But either
tacky and
way,
gluey.
put your questions, your notes on them. They'll find their way to us, and we'll answer them on the pod. We
Yeah.
haven't done. No one's asked us one question all season long. But that's
But we're
partially
bound and
our
determined to.
hell
God
yeah.
damn it.
Show me your changeup. But this is partially our fault.
I go circle change. I go like full palm, you know?
Oh, what's your two seam? Let's see the two
No,
seam.
no, my two seamer is better. I like my two seamer, honestly. I like to go on the horseshoe. Oh no, sorry. Yeah,
Oh,
yeah,
okay,
yeah. Okay.
okay.
So just a little.
I was dialing it up at until they said play ball. I couldn't throw a strike. My middle name is Yips.
Alec Gibbs Schwartz. That's a good one, actually. I'm
I'll
gonna
get
think
rid of
about
it.
naming my kid that.
Shout out Frank the Tank. Shout out the Yips. Shout out Playoff Baseball. Shout out the Mets fans. That's who I want to shout out. The loyal Mets fans, the people who were with us, spent their good money on overpriced hot dogs and beer and Cracker Jacks and peanuts and the boozy lemonade and all the good food there at Citi Field. Um, love you guys. I'll see you at City next year. And let's go Cleveland Guardians, baby. This is episode 20 of the BAB. And I'm signing off for now.
Where have you gone, oh Grimaccio? We miss you and your purple seat.
Oh,
And
I'm getting that
we're
suit for next year.
it's the only way to rectify the sins of the season. But
And
sorry
only
to
you
see
and
your
I
mom.
drag. Sorry. I didn't mean to cut you off. You're
Oh no,
finished there.
only and I would drag it out this long.
Yeah,
You're right, and I was
I
about
was,
to go even further.
I was gonna say, me and you both keep giving finishing lines. Everyone knows us well now. That's what we do. Everyone probably already shut the pod off anyway, so that's okay.
Let's go Yanks. Get wrecked.
See you in
Playoff time,
2026.
baby.
Playoff baseball.
We're still here.
Peace.
This ball is crushed. Man, what a shot for